Welcome to Florida chapter of AAP Trainees Tips, an educational series for pediatric trainees offering advice on topics of interest identified by medical student, resident, and fellow members of the Florida chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics. I'm your host, Johanna, a third-year pediatric resident at University of Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, and a member of Florida chapter of AAP Resident and Trainees Committee. In this session of the Florida chapter AAP Trainees Tips, we have Dr. Corinne Bria and Dr. Johanna Kielbasa of Nemours Children's Hospital in Orlando, Florida, will offer guidance on leadership to help you understand the attribute of a strong leader in medicine and understand the different leadership roles and skill sets at different levels of graduate medical education, from intern to senior resident to fellow and junior faculty. Dr. Bria is an associate professor of pediatrics at University of Central Florida and a pediatric emergency medicine physician at Nemours Children's Hospital in Orlando, Florida. She has a master's degree in medical education and serves as the associate program director for the General Pediatric Residency Program at Nemours Children's Hospital. She is interested in building curricula for resident-based education, utilizing simulation, growing the advocacy program, and mentoring medical student and resident. She loves spending time with her husband and 4 children, group fitnessing, and long days at the beach. Dr. Kielbasa attended Wake Forest University for both medical school and residency, ultimately graduating in May 2011. Given her love of academic medicine, she moved across the country with her family to Oklahoma in order to start her educational career as a junior faculty at the University of Oklahoma from 2011 to 2017 as an assistant professor. Dr. Kielbasa came to Nemours in 2017 and is now an associate professor. She is the UCF medical student clerkship site director for Nemours. She is the director of education for NCH Division of Hospital Medicine. Dr. Kielbasa is one of 8 board-certified pediatric hospitalists at Nemours and is thrilled to be part of such an amazing and rapidly growing program, and is grateful for the continued support Nemours and UCF continue to provide her through her educational career. Now, I will turn it over to Dr. Bria and Dr. Kielbasa.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having us. Dr. Bria and I are both, as Dr. Hannah said, thank you for introducing us. We're both physicians at Nemours Children's Hospital in Orlando, Florida, and we are thrilled to be able to give you guys this little mini lecture series. One of the biggest things I think when we talked about what we wanted to do and when we were asked to do something like this is we looked into the literature to see what exactly existed out there for building resident leadership roles, I guess, throughout their training. One of the biggest things when you become a resident is you're thrown into multiple leadership positions without necessarily having any lifetime leadership training. And so looking into the literature, there are definitely some ideas out there and some goals that you can follow and some things that you can review. And then a lot of big children's hospitals have some programs that they've implemented with leadership and how to define the growing role of leadership in residency. But one of the things that we thought was really cool is kind of talking about the transitions of leadership, given that there's a little bit of a void of information out there. So hopefully this little series will help you guys learn how to transition from 4th year to intern, intern to senior, senior to junior faculty / attending. Just give you some little tidbits and life advice. And we'll do an overview general session, and then we'll do breakout sessions, 3 little ones, intern, senior role, and then junior attending / fellow. And Dr. Bria?
Yes, so it's really important to remember that the art of medicine is still an apprenticeship training style. And so we really continue to always learn from each other. There is an infinite amount of knowledge to learn when it comes to medicine. So we're all lifelong learners. But as we go through these different tips and tricks, always remember that you are modeling behavior. Others are modeling behavior for you. So it's always this give and take in terms of education.
So we'll start by talking about what makes a good leader in general. Just a big general sense. It doesn't matter where you are in life. And I think one of the biggest things that we've learned throughout our career is it's more about bringing others with you as you go, not telling others how to go forth and having more of a dictatorship role, but really it's a let's go mentality, not a you go mentality. So building them up and bringing them with you is one of the most important things that a leader can do.
Absolutely. And we don't want you to get bogged down in the minutia. Remember your ultimate goal. Remember your final destination. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process it takes to get there. Some things that will help get there a bit smoother or in a bit more of an organized fashion is being deliberate about setting expectations. We always say that delegate responsibilities, it's capitalized, it's bolded, it's underlined, it's highlighted. Learning how to manage, learning how to delegate, such important skill sets in terms of preventing the minutia from bogging you down. And then we always talk about time management or the efficiency of care. And while this takes time, this takes effort, it's very important as you progress through the different developmental stages of being a leader to keep these three things in mind.
Absolutely. And another skill in preparing this talk that we thought about and looked through, one of the most impressive things that I found as leaders for me that I really respect and look up to is their ability to find and harness the skill sets of others. So it's not just finding what people are good at, but it's harnessing that and really giving them a path and helping them find the direction that they should be going and encouraging them along that path. I think that's an excellent example of a good leader.
Right, right. And we always want to we have to remind ourselves and sometimes others that staying positive is really within your control. That is something that you can maintain. Of course, you're going to have days where you're just not feeling it, and we understand. We have those days too, but we really want to try our best to always model the best behavior. We consider professionalism to start with a capital P, and it really is the foundation of medicine. It really is the foundation of medical care. And so always, always, always strive towards the highest level of professional excellence.
Absolutely. Another thing that I love to say to my residents and or medical students, for those of you that have worked with me before, is be confident with what you know and be confident with what you don't know. One of the best things I can help with as an attending is when you come to me confidently saying, Dr. Kielbasa, gee, I just don't know how to manage this, or I just don't understand this physical exam finding, or this lab, or this vital sign doesn't make sense to me. Please help me understand. It's much better to be confident with the things you don't know and let us help you through it, or let other leaders help you through it, than trying to trip along the way and make something up. So definitely know your limits, know when you can be wrong, know that we're not all perfect and we don't know everything. And we absolutely, the further I get into medicine, the more I realize I don't know. The more you learn, the more you know you don't know. And just being open to that and being open to continually learning is very important.
Yes, and this next one is short and sweet, and we will come back to this through every one of our breakout sessions. So I'm just going to leave it at this. Communication is key. It's always key.
Yes. Another thing I think is really important that has helped myself, and I know I can speak for Dr. Bria in saying this too, for both of us to grow as leaders, is really to, I touched on this a second ago, but be open to feedback. So I'm a huge proponent of 360-degree feedback. So medical student to intern, intern to senior, senior to attending, attending to medical student, and all the way back around the circle. It's a way to, overanalyze and kind of take the building blocks back down to build the building back up. And every time it's rebuilt, it's going to be more secure than the time before.
She is the queen of 360 feedback. It's a true story. When it comes to building resilience, we think it's important to acknowledge that well-being and hard work, they are not mutually exclusive. We really believe it's time to start shaping the culture of medicine to embrace well-being while we're working hard. And so we're hoping to provide some more tangible tricks and tips to achieve this.
Absolutely. So what we're going to talk about next is some of the transitions in leadership, and at each level there's going to be different roles and there are different skill sets that you're going to want to work through to obtain, whether you're an intern, a senior, or a junior faculty slash fellow again. So hopefully we can provide a little bit of those tips and tricks along the way.
Absolutely. And we don't want you to ever lose sight of how important you are in this entire process. You are integral to medicine. You are taking care of people. You are taking care of family members. You are taking care of children. And that is a great responsibility. It's also a very powerful profession. And so we always want you to remember that you are very important too. And so as we progress forward, that will also be a recurring theme that we discuss. We're so excited that you tuned in to this first introductory session involving leadership milestones. And we are so grateful for the Florida chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics for providing these sessions so that we can discuss trainee tips. And we will see you soon.